Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Friday, February the 8th. We got an 8-game slate for Friday. I'm going to go through each position and talk about some of the guys that stand out to me on this 8-game slate. We'll work our way through the player pool, and then I will give 5 plays for DraftKings and 5 plays for Yahoo. These are 5 players that I specifically like for each site. Before we do get started, though, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video, and if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. We are getting very close to 14,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. So if you are new, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at point guard today. So Luka Doncic is the most expensive option at this position. He's 9,500. Gets a home matchup with the Bucks. Luka Doncic, I don't mind paying up for at point guard today. I would definitely play him over Drew, and I would play him over Curry. Drew's not going to be someone I play today. I wouldn't play Drew at all because Anthony Davis is expected to return for the Pelicans, and Drew at 9,200 with AD healthy is just not a price tag that I want to pay. But Luka Doncic, I don't mind here. He's not my favorite spend-up option. He's not going to be someone I force in, but if I had to choose someone to pay up at point guard, it would definitely be Luka. The guy's been just playing so well ever since Dennis Smith Jr. got traded. Luka's been the primary ball handler. We've seen him rack up assists, double-digit assists in 2 of his last 4 games. He can get some rebounds as well, double-digit rebounds in 3 of the last 4 games. And we obviously know Luka is a very good scorer, pretty much has a chance to triple-double every night. This game does have a nice total. Dallas will be playing up in pace here, going up against Milwaukee. Milwaukee, as a team, very solid defensively, but they do play at a pretty fast pace. So I don't mind paying up for Luka today, but not someone I'm going to be forcing in. I think there is pretty good value at point guard, and there are some good mid-tier plays as well. In the mid-range, I do like Eric Bledsoe quite a bit today. $6,700 on DraftKings and $28 on Yahoo. Really good spot for Bledsoe. We do know right now, as I'm recording this Thursday night, that Chris Middleton is going to rest for the Bucks here. So Bledsoe and Giannis are going to be the 2 guys really running the show and doing the heavy lifting for the Bucks. Bledsoe's minutes lately have been down, but we've just seen the Bucks blow out so many teams lately. They blew out Washington. They blew out Brooklyn. They blew out Toronto. I think the spread on this game is pretty close if I look at it real quick. 8-point spread, so game that is expected to be somewhat close. I think Bledsoe plays full minutes here. He does see a bit of a usage bump when you take Chris Middleton off the floor. And Middleton, like I said, going to be resting today. I think Middleton being out gives a slight boost to Bledsoe and a slight boost to Giannis. And those are 2 guys that I do like today. Bledsoe, though, at point guard in that mid-range, I think is a very good play. If you want to go to him at 6,700, he does stand out to me quite a bit. Dennis Smith Jr., price tag on DraftKings, I don't love at 5,800, but he's still cheap on Yahoo. He's $19 over here. We saw him play almost 40 minutes last game against Detroit, same matchup today. Fizdale's going to run Dennis Smith Jr. into the ground. It seems like he's going to give him heavy minutes on a nightly basis, so I think we can project Smith Jr. for probably 36 to 38 minutes. Could definitely give you a point per minute and be a good play. It's just $19 on Yahoo, so I like him quite a bit if you want to play him over there. But now talking about value here, I do like Tyler Johnson as a value play. The Suns did trade for him. He's going to be on the Suns now. And he is expected to start as well. He's $4,300 on DK. You can play him at shooting guard. On Yahoo, he's minimum price, just $10 at point guard. Really good play, in my opinion, especially if Devin Booker were to sit today for the Suns. Devin Booker is questionable right now. We do know TJ Warren's going to be out, and we also know that DeAnthony Melton is going to be out as well, which frees up a lot of minutes, a lot of usage. I think we're going to see Tyler Johnson probably play 30-plus minutes, even if this game blows out, which obviously very likely that this game blows out against the Warriors. But even if it does, I think Tyler Johnson will still be out there if the game blows out and still get the run. So I like him quite a bit on both sides. I would like him even more if Devin Booker's out. There's just not a lot of guys that are going to be out there that you can take a ton of shots. Johnson, I expect his minutes to be pretty safe, pretty secure when he's on the Suns, at least while Melton is out. We saw when he was with the Heat and how Eric Spoelstra did his rotation. Johnson's minutes on a nightly basis were kind of not safe. You never knew if he's going to get the minutes. Now that he's on the Suns and going to be the starting point guard, I expect the minutes to be there, so I do like him as a value play today if you are trying to go cheap at point guard. And then I do want to talk about the Timberwolves. So on Thursday night, Jared Bayless actually got hurt for the Timberwolves. He got injured. which really only leaves Isaiah Cannon as the only healthy point guard. They have this Terrell guy as well, but I imagine if Bayless can't play today and Rose is out and Teague is out as well and Tyus Jones out, if all four of those guys are out, Isaiah Cannon at minimum price is probably going to be the best value play on the slate. We don't know right now if Bayless is going to play or if Rose or Teague's going to play. Rose, Teague, and Jones all sat out on Thursday, and then Bayless got hurt in Thursday's game, and they're on a back-to-back, so we don't know if he's going to play. Like I said, if all four of those guys are out, Isaiah Cannon at $3K, the stone minimum, probably one of the best value plays. He's going to be forced to play big minutes if those guys were to miss today. Did want to mention him. But let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard now. So this position, if I'm paying up here, Luka Doncic's probably the guy that I would go to at 9,500. Looking at some other shooting guards, though, in this mid-range, not a ton stands out to me. I think Jamal Murray, 6,300, is probably a guy I wouldn't mind playing if you want to play him at shooting guard. If Devin Booker sits today, Kelly Oubre at 5,900, I like quite a bit. Andrew Wiggins at 6K, I like quite a bit as well here against the Pelicans. I expect Wiggins probably does some ball handling if Bayless were to miss this game. He is definitely a good play, in my opinion, if you want to play him in this mid-range. Talking about value, though, really not a ton of value that I love. You can play Tyler Johnson as a value play at shooting guard if you want to go to him here. I think Cannon you can play at shooting guard if he were to become a value play. But that's where I'm looking to at shooting guard. So let's go ahead and move on to small forward now. So at the top here, you got Giannis, 11-4 against Dallas. Right now, I do like Giannis today. He's not my favorite spend-up option. Not going to be my favorite stud of choice. But if a lot of value does open up, especially like if some Minnesota guard value were to open up, if Bayless sits, since it was trade deadline yesterday, there's a chance there's going to be some teams running some short rotations. Since some of the guys they traded for aren't going to be able to play, like we don't know if Tobias Harris is going to play for the Sixers. We don't know if some of the other trades, like Otto Porter, if he's going to be able to play for the Bulls. That's news we're going to have to wait and see on Friday. If those kind of guys were not going to be able to play, we're going to see some thin rotations. Going to see some value open up, which maybe will make it easier to play Giannis with another stud. Right now, Karl-Anthony Towns is kind of the guy that I want to pay up for, especially if Bayless were to sit here. But Giannis, I don't mind. Does see a little bit of a bump with Chris Middleton off the floor. He's 11-4. He's pretty expensive, but I think he is worth that price tag today. But if I'm not going to Giannis at small forward, I do like Andrew Wiggins and Kelly Oubre, who I both talked about at shooting guard. I think they're good plays here. If Devin Booker's out, I think you can definitely go to Josh Jackson at 5,900. I think he's a pretty solid option at this position if you want to play him here. Tomas Satoransky, his minutes have been kind of down lately, kind of trending down, but it is a great matchup at home against the Cavs. You could play Satoransky at small forward. I wouldn't mind him here if you want to play him. We saw with Otto Porter being traded that Jeff Green was the starting power forward for the Wizards last game. If that were to be the case again today and Green starts again at 5,300 at small forward, he's for sure in play. We don't know if Jabari Parker is going to be able to go, or Bobby Portis, if they're going to be able to play. So if they were to both sit, then Jeff Green, 5,300. Pretty strong option if you want to play him at small forward. But let's go ahead and move on to power forward. Talk about this position. So at the top here, you do have Anthony Davis, 11,200, who is expected to play today, and it looks like he's going to be playing out the rest of the season for the Pelicans. So he is an option we can pay up for, but I'm just kind of unsafe about his workload, how he's going to feel. He hasn't played in quite some time. I would much rather play Giannis for just 200 more. I would feel safer with Giannis, just because we know Giannis, the minutes are going to be there. The game's competitive. AD, like I said, he's been out for a while. He could be limited. Obviously, there's a chance the Pelicans kind of just ease him in, give him an easy workload rest of the season, because obviously they do not want him to get hurt. So don't really have a ton of interest in AD today. I would pay up for Giannis if I had to play an expensive power forward. But I think there are some good mid-tier plays. I like Lauri Markkanen quite a bit today. On DraftKings, he's 7K at power forward. You can play him at power forward or center. He's $31 on Yahoo. I like him on both sites. We saw last game with Bobby Portis getting traded that we got some heavy minutes out of Lauri Markkanen, 41 minutes and 48 DraftKings points. If Otto Porter were to not be able to play today, which is it's pretty likely Porter can't go since it's only been like 1 day since the trade happened. He'll probably be able to play their next game, but I don't know if he'll be able to play here. I think we can probably project Markkanen for 36 to 38 minutes if Porter is unable to play. He played 41 minutes the last game. I don't see him playing that amount of minutes, but definitely could get to high 30s. And obviously a really good matchup against Brooklyn, a bad Brooklyn defensive team, a bad rebounding team, a team that struggles against bigs. I think Lauri Markkanen had like 20 rebounds, they played on the 29th against Brooklyn. Lauri Markkanen had 18 and 19, had 19 rebounds against Brooklyn. Brooklyn has actually been kind of picking up the pace lately, which we do like to see. So love Lauri Markkanen at 7K. If Otto Porter is active and able to play, then that definitely lowers my interest in Markkanen because I feel like he won't play as many minutes. But if Porter's out, we should see some big minutes from Markkanen. And at 7K at power forward, really strong play if you want to go to him. But now looking maybe in the mid-range and for some value here, a lot of the mid-range plays I've kind of already talked about that you can go to. Larry Nance, his minutes have started to trend up lately. Last 3 games, 24, 28, 29 minutes. Seti Osman is going to be out this game. I doubt they start Larry Nance. They didn't start him last game when Osman was out. He still came off the bench, but if he's going to come off the bench and play nearly 30 minutes, especially against a really bad Wizards team defensively and a really bad rebounding team, Larry Nance at 5,800, definitely in play for me with Osman out. The minutes should be there, at least should get a lot of run off the bench. But now talking about some cheaper plays, Mason Plumlee, if Millsap were to sit 5,400, even though the price tag's rising, Mason Plumlee is still a good option in my opinion if Millsap's out today. But value-wise here, really don't love any value at power forward. At least I don't feel like there's any must-plays. Like Kelly Olynyk started last game. His minutes have been up, but the game that he started, he looked pretty bad, just 20 minutes and 16 DraftKings points. But it is a great spot against the Kings. If the minutes are there for Olynyk, he could definitely be a value play. If he is in the starting lineup, you do feel somewhat safe about his minutes. You can never really feel safe about any minutes from any Heat players, but Olynyk at 4,200, I don't mind as a value play if you want to play him. But let's go ahead and move on to center. So this position, a lot of good options here. You got AD, you got Joel Embiid, you got Jokic, you got Towns, all over 10K. And right now, I think Karl-Anthony Towns is the guy that I'm trying to pay up for if I can pay up for a center. Jokic and Embiid going up against each other, I think both of them are in play. If I had to choose one, I would probably go with Jokic at 10-4, but I think I prefer Towns, especially if he is the lower owned out of all those 3 stud centers. Especially if Bayless is out, Towns' usage rate is going to be through the roof here. If we get no Rose, no Teague, no Bayless, we know we're not going to have Covington, and Tyus Jones I don't think is healthy either, but if no Rose, Teague, or Bayless here, Towns should just absolutely go off against this Pelicans team. They do have Anthony Davis back, which is a bit concerning because that makes their overall team defense a little bit better when AD's on the floor. But still a great spot. Minnesota will be playing up in pace. Not really concerned about a back-to-back. Towns has played big minutes regardless of it, when it's a back-to-back or not. So 10K, love Towns here. He's dominated so far this year against the Pelicans. He's averaged 67 DraftKings points through 3 games against them. The price tag's just too cheap for Towns right now. At 10K, he's still a top play for me at the center position. So I love going to him at the top here. In the mid-range, I love Hassan Whiteside as well. I want to go over to Yahoo. I do like Towns on Yahoo at 45. But Hassan Whiteside, I like quite a bit here against the matchup with the Kings. 6,800 on DK, and on Yahoo, he's $25. I think he's a really good play on both sides. We've seen the minutes lately for Whiteside be very consistent, 31 and 30 minutes. The last 2 games, he's been playing very well. Obviously, with Whiteside, the minutes are always a concern, but the fact that the minutes have been there the last 2 games, and the fact that he has a really good matchup today against the Kings, makes me like him quite a bit. If he gets 30 minutes against this Kings front court, he should absolutely go off. He played 29 minutes against the Kings earlier this year and had 58 DraftKings points, 16 and 24, with 5 blocks and 2 steals. Monster game from Whiteside. We know Whiteside's going to be productive when he's on the floor. It's just a matter of will he get the minutes or not. And I think the minutes will be there. The fact the minutes have been consistent lately for him makes me a little bit less concerned that maybe he goes back down to 20 minutes. I just don't see that happening, especially with how well he's been playing lately. So I like Whiteside quite a bit at 6,800. If he's going to play 30 minutes against the Kings, 6,800 is way too cheap of a price tag for a guy that has his kind of upside. So he's my favorite center play in that mid-range. And then if we're going for value, Nance is a good center play if you want to play him at this position. You got Plumlee, who could be a good play if Paul Millsap were to sit. Cheap plays, though, under 5K. really nothing I want to go to. Maybe Kelly Olynyk if you want to play him at this position, but I think that's it for center. I think that's it for the video, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click that like button. Before we get out of here, make sure you subscribe if you have not already, and if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT. But yeah, guys, good luck tonight on this 8-game slate. We will see you in the next video.